Oh my god, can we just talk about how freaking hot it is? Like, here in California, I guess we're just barely kind of starting to get this heat wave that everyone else in the country has been feeling for the past week. But it's already really, really hot here anyways where I live, so this is just kind of a real freaking bummer. Anyways, I just wanted to get that off my chest, so in case I look like super glowy or sweaty, I have a fan here. This is the best I'm gonna do at this point. I just want to freaking just die. Pregnant women, especially almost 38 weeks, almost ready to pop. I can't stand this weather. This is bull. There's a story to tell my kid when he comes. Anyways, moving on. The point of this video, I got 2 new L'Oreal products, and I kind of didn't want to make. Well, I guess I could make a separate review. Just kidding. FYI, I like to kid and not edit. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do a review on the newest L'Oreal foundation, and I'm wearing it right now. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Well, it's called the True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. So, you know, it might look a little different on camera just because, again, the heat. And this is supposed to be like a luminous foundation anyways. So, you know, it's not the normal choice that I would have probably gone with for the summer. But I like to try new stuff. I mean, why not? And I got the color W4 Natural Beige. This is what the bottle looks like. It's such a nice bottle. Can we just talk about this for a minute? How nice this pump is. Hello! Finally a pump! A pump on a foundation I'll actually use. Like, I guess they have another foundation where it was like the anti-aging one or something that has the pump, but I mean, I don't quite need anti-aging makeup just yet, especially the way my skin's been going for the past 10 years. I doubt I'll ever have a need of anti-aging makeup. Just oil everywhere. It's just a really nice bottle. It has like this really nice, super easy to control pump. Like, if you don't want to use the whole pump, you can use like a quarter of a pump if you wanted to. This is like totally unheard of, especially in a drugstore product. I mean, even like MAC foundations, you have kind of a weird time using the pumps. You can do half a pump and a full pump, but this quarter of a pump's really nice. It's a full fluid ounce. It has broad spectrum SPF 20. I don't know if they have to put broad spectrum now on all sunscreen products, because I know they changed the regulations recently where you had to use specific wording instead of just SPF, or, you know, you can't use waterproof anymore. It has to be water resistant, things like that. And SPF 20 is really high for a foundation, especially a drugstore foundation, so that's really nice again too. I haven't had trouble with it photographing either, which is, you know, always a drawback of too much SPF in a foundation, but this one's worked out pretty well. And like I said, I got the shade W4 Natural Beige. This is the warm. What's really nice also about these foundations is just the color selection. It runs very similar to the actual original True Match, which I've never tried. I've kind of passed by it before, but to be honest with you, the packaging just really put me off. Like, it just looked like this tiny little cheap bottle with this little cheap plastic cap, and you would just have, no, it just didn't look like very appealing to me, regardless of what the product may or may not have performed as. So, that's that. Oh, by the way, a funny thing about this too, it says, I've noticed people mentioning about how it says to reapply it every 2 hours, but I think they just kind of have to put that. Yeah, for sunscreen use. Like, if you were to use this as a sunscreen, it tells you on the directions to reapply every 2 hours. Not that you would need to reapply your foundation every 2 hours. It might look a little scary by the end of the day, but I guess if you were specifically just using this as a sunscreen, which I guess you'd have to be like really desperate if you had like nothing else going on and you couldn't find any other kind of SPF, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so on to the actual wear of the product. Like I said, I have it on right now. The colors run a little funny. Right now, I would say I'm about a MAC NC 30, 35, probably more of a 35. It's because my chest and everything tans really dark, and I've been using self tanner, and especially self tanner on my face, just because I want to try and even things out. So they did have testers in the Walgreens that I went to. I don't know if every single drugstore that you go to will have the testers. That's kind of a new thing that's been going on, where if a new product comes out, they'll try and give you a little tester. But when I was talking to a lady, I'm like, oh yeah, that's really nice. I don't know why they don't make testers for all drugstore foundations. She's like, because people steal them. I said, okay, that's probably a really good reason why they don't do that. So I would definitely try and test the product out first, because I would have ended up getting W3, one shade lighter than this, if I hadn't tested it. In fact, I almost went with a W5, which I don't remember the name of that color, but just because, you know, I'm trying it on my hand was a little bit darker, so I decided to just go with the happy medium in between of the W4, and I'm very pleased with it. Especially because it still does go on slightly light compared to my chest, but once I add bronzer, it's totally fine. It looks fine. I'm happy with it. So the wear time on this is really, really good. Like, considering how it's like a luminous foundation and it's a very lightweight, thin foundation, very liquidy, very thin, it lasts a really long time, and I haven't had to touch up my face at all, and I've had it on for about a good, probably almost 8 hours now. And it does, of course, it's a luminous foundation, and I do have oily skin, so my T-zone does get oily, but it doesn't look super greasy. It just kind of starts to look like a little too glowy for my taste. I'm used to a completely matte foundation. I kind of like the Color Stays, the Studio Fixes of the world. So this was kind of a little out of my comfort zone at first, especially because, like, when I think luminous makeup, I think very sheer coverage. Like, that just automatically pops into my mind, especially when I think of, like, Photo Ready. I freaking hated. I didn't like the, I don't like anything that basically kind of is like a sheer color. It's not for me. I have a lot of acne scarring, pigmentation, not texture. So I had a coupon for this. I had 2 coupons for this, actually. I had one that was $1 off a face product, the L'Oreal face product, and then Walgreens had an additional coupon for another $2 off any L'Oreal product. So I got this for about 10 something with tax, but it normally ran about almost $14. So depending on where you get it. Now, I saw this at Walmart last night for 10 something. So that's just, if you can get it elsewhere, I would try and get it elsewhere if you don't want to spend the money and you're not sure you're going to really like it. But then I didn't see any testers at the Walmart one. So if you want to make 2 stops, it's up to you. But let me just show you the way the foundation goes on. So let me just show you the control of this pump. It's just like amazing. I'm like so happy with it. Anyway, so this is what the product looks like. It's very thin. It's very watery. Not super watery. It's not like dripping, but it's pretty liquidy. It's super light. Super lightweight. And it just blends beautifully. Really, really nicely. And it just has this gorgeous sheen to it. And it's not glitter. Like, the Photo Ready is nasty, in my opinion, just because it has like glitter in it, like sparkles. And when you look at the bottle, you would be able to see like traces of sparkle. And with this one, it's just, I don't know what they did, but it's just sheen. There's no sparkle. It's almost like a highlighter kind of but you know, for your face, for your whole face. It is so nice, and it actually covers really, really well. If you'll look at the difference between my two hands, it might not show up on camera, but you definitely can't see. You can't see my veins really in this hand versus this hand. And so that's my main point for this foundation, that I just love. That it's so lightweight, it's luminous, but it actually has coverage, like shocking amount of coverage. Now I do lay down. I've tried it on its own, and it was wonderful. I used the e.l.f. powder brush, you know, the flat top one. That's what I've been using with this. I haven't tried it with a stippling or sponge or regular paddle foundation brush, just because I like the way that the e.l.f. brush puts it on. So kind of why mess with a good thing? And plus I think that the stippling brush tends to like thin out a product a little bit. So if you want less coverage, or you don't need as much coverage, I would try a stippling brush. But I just love the way that the e.l.f. brush puts it on my face. So it just spreads really easily. I use about 2.5 pumps, just because I like to go over my cheeks a little bit and my chin a little bit for extra coverage. I do use concealer underneath first. And the only reason I'm using concealer underneath the product first, because normally you would use foundation and then whatever still needs to be covered you would use concealer. However, the concealer I have is the Select Cover Up by MAC, and it's the one in the tube, but it's an NC30. It's too light, so I can't use it on its own basically. So I use that for my scarring. Just give it a little base, and then I put this foundation on top of it kind of to even out the color. So, and it works really well. I just kind of pat, and then I blend towards the edges of my face and down a little bit. I don't know what else I can say about this product, because I really like it. I'm just surprised how much I liked it, because this would seem like such a dry skin foundation, but even like I have oily skin, and yeah, okay, I do get a little shiny, but it's nothing. I don't set it with powder after I'm done putting the foundation, so even when I get oily I still would have to powder anyways with any other foundation, so it's not even a really big deal. I had been using the Maybelline Shine Free powder compact, which is like their supposedly like super matte powder, which I don't find to be that matte. It's just a really nice kind of blot powder, especially if you're just gonna like press it really quick and kind of blow off the extra product first. Works really well. You know, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't stay totally matte, but this is not a review for that. But it just kind of gives a really nice, tones down the dewiness a little bit, and I only used it in my T-zone. I haven't used powder on my cheeks at all today. And it still has stayed really, really well. Especially, I've been walking out in the sun all freaking day with it just beating down on me, and my makeup has not melted off. And you know, I can't recommend this highly enough. I really can't. I would definitely give it a try. If you don't like it, keep your receipt or whatever, but just throw your receipt. You won't need it. This is an amazing product. So I would definitely try and snatch this up. I did have a kind of a hard time finding it. I did go to Target near me and they didn't have it. I went to 2 CVS's near me, they didn't have it. Rite Aid didn't have it. The only people that had it was Walgreens. So, and then like I bought this maybe a couple days ago, and then last night I saw it at a really far away Walmart that I went to. So that was that. I would definitely call ahead if you're gonna go driving, which is what I should have done. Anyways, so that's that. I hope you guys might give it a try. Alright, bye.